And tonight, Indiana has new abortion restrictions on the books, making most procedures illegal. There's a lot to break down here. So tonight, we're looking at questions surrounding law enforcement and the push from protesters fighting back against the law. But first, let's start with the basics of this new abortion ban.
We know the ban makes nearly all abortions illegal in the state of Indiana. The only exceptions: rape, incest, deadly fetal anomalies, and cases where the mother's life is at risk. Now the ban faces two legal challenges filed by the ACLU, but hearings on those don't start until Monday, with another set for next month. The ACLU did try filing a temporary restraining order to stop the ban from taking effect today, but a judge did not grant that, meaning for now, the new restrictions stay in place.
Tonight, Hoosiers and Democratic leaders are pushing back against the ban. After several demonstrations across Indianapolis, they're now throwing their support behind the ACLU's legal challenges. And Emily Longnecker discovered that's not their only means of fighting the ban.
Hoosiers against these new abortion restrictions are now setting their sights on November and the upcoming election, vowing on this day one of the new law to vote out any lawmaker who supported SB 1.
They promised to head to the polls in November, but Thursday protesters against Indiana's new law on abortion headed to the governor's mansion to let Governor Eric Holcomb know what they thought about SB 1 going into effect.
And this country is supposed to stand for freedom. I used to be proud to be a Hoosier. This legislation has changed that.
This woman told protesters she's a military veteran who now is on another mission.
And I promise you now, I will be starting conversations in my neighborhood, making sure people have the resources they need to vote.
It's important for them to hear our voices and understand that we're not okay with this. Our government is supposed to represent us and what we feel is important.
And this is just one step towards us going back to being second-class citizens. And I don't want that for my daughters, and I don't want that for myself.
We now have less rights than our mothers and our grandmothers.
Democratic candidate for Indiana's 5th congressional district, Jeanine Lee Lake, was among the protesters. The Crawfordsville native has been very open on the campaign trail about her decision to have an abortion in college.
We're going to keep on fighting, we're going to keep on marching, and eventually we will get our rights back.
She wasn't the only candidate speaking out on day one of Indiana's abortion ban. A handful of Democratic lawmakers and candidates for state office spoke out against SB 1 on the steps of the State House.
This is not a happy day for women. It's a sad day for women. It's a sad day for the state of Indiana.
Women and girls are mourning the loss of rights as we wake up today.
Separate the church and state.
That mourning changed into anger, fueling a singular purpose.
And we will absolutely never stop.
These Hoosiers are focused on come Election Day.
Now, when it comes to enforcing the new restrictions, we've already seen several county prosecutors say they refuse. That includes Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears. So lawmakers created a new task force to find a solution. Essentially, they're studying circumstances where a county prosecutor makes a blanket refusal to enforce the law, and they'll recommend certain workarounds. Now, that could be giving power to the Indiana Attorney General or another prosecutor to go after these cases. The task force has until December 1st to recommend the best approach. We have details on who makes up the task force. That's posted right now on WTHR.com.